Ferguson already? Now we're told that he's going to be 30 seconds. So again,
all right, so he's having a little side conversation before he takes the microphone. The interesting thing about this quick trip, it has become ground zero for these series of terrible nights in Ferguson, Missouri. That quick trip was burned down and looted, and you see, all right, let's listen.
First of all, thanks for everybody for coming out. Welcome. Sorry about being late. I know that the timeline hasn't really played out like I expected it would. But as some of you are aware, I've had a lot of sunshine law requests for information and documents about a variety of things, some of which is not available to me. But anyway, so I'm here to talk about two things. First of all, the name of the officer involved in the shooting, and then I've had a lot of sunshine requests for information. I'm going to be releasing information about a robbery that occurred on August 9th, immediately preceding the altercation and shooting death of Michael Brown. It's important to note that I have made contact with someone who is in contact with Officer Brown's family to make them aware of this information being released. What we're making available today are the dispatch records and the video footage of a robbery, a strong-arm robbery with use of force that occurred at a local convenience mart. I cannot discuss the investigation about the attempted apprehension of the suspect in that strong-arm robbery. That goes to this county prosecutor's office. I won't be taking any questions today, right now. Not today. I won't be taking any questions here. I want to give this information to you, let everybody digest it, and then later on, sometime afternoon, we can get together again, and then I'll take questions. So I just want to give you a little timeline of what happened on August 9th. From 11:48 to noon, the officer involved in the shooting was on a sick call on Glen Arc. There was an ambulance present. At 11:51, there was a 911 call from a convenience store nearby, not this one. At 11:52, dispatch gave a description of a robbery suspect over the radio. A different officer arrived at the store where the strong-arm robbery occurred. A further description, more detail, was given over the radio, and stated the officer was walking toward, or the suspect was walking toward Quick Trip. Our officer left the sick call. He encountered the I'm sorry. Let's see. At 12:01 p.m., our officer encountered Michael Brown on Canfield Drive. At 12:04, a second officer arrived on the scene immediately following the shooting, and at 12:05, a supervisor was dispatched to the scene, and subsequent officers arrived. There has been some questions about the calling of an ambulance. The ambulance that was at the sick case on Glen Arc was coming by immediately following the shooting, and they did respond to assess Michael Brown. So I'm going to have some police officers going to be handing out packets that have all the information that was requested and the sunshine request concerning the robbery. We're going to give those packets, first of all, to those agencies that have made the sunshine request, and then anybody else who wants them. I think we have enough to give out. We've got quite a few. I'm sorry. The officer that was involved in the shooting of Michael Brown was Darren Wilson. He's been a police officer for 6 years, has had no disciplinary action taken against him. He was treated for injuries which occurred on Saturday. Again, I won't be taking any questions at this time, but the packets will be handed out by my officers. And the name is Darren, D-A-R-R-E-N, Wilson, W-I-L-S-O-N. And Thank you, and I'll see you again.
How old is he? How old is he? Do you have a middle initial? Sir, how old is he?
All right, you can hear the reporter shouting questions at the police chief, but he says he's not going to take any questions. He gave out very little information, really, but he supposedly handed out these packets with much more information. Ana Cabrera, you're on the scene. Can you hear me yet? Ana?
I can hear you, Carol, yes. Do you have me?
Did you get one of those packets?
I have not received one of those packets, but we do have reporters and producers who are there getting those packets from the police chief as he's handing those out. Now remember, the packets of information, as he just mentioned, that he is handing out have to do with a request, an open records request that several media outlets have put out there trying to get as much information they can about what led up to the shooting and the shooting incident itself. Now, the information in those packets did not have to do directly with the shooting itself. Could it be related? We'll have to wait and see. But it is about a robbery that happened on the same day that Michael Brown died. And there has been sort of a buzz about a robbery having taken place before his shooting. We now learned that it was at a convenience store that was not this Quick Trip. And many people had believed it had happened at this Quick Trip earlier on. However, the tie-in here is that that robbery happened just, within the moments before Michael Brown's death. That dispatch had put out there that there had been a report of a strong armed robbery at this other convenience store not far from here. And the suspect in that reported armed robbery had come in the direction of the Quick Trip. So that may be the connection to where we are at. And this Quick Trip is really just blocks away from where Michael Brown was shot and killed, Carol. So that is the information about that robbery that has been released. And now we also have the name of the officer who shot and killed Michael Brown, who was also responding to that robbery earlier in the day. His name is Darren Wilson. He is a 6-year veteran of this police department, and the police chief also saying that there were no disciplinary actions taken against this officer in his history of the police department. I also know, talking to the police chief the other day, he described this police officer as somebody who is a nice young man, as he put it, who's always respectful, has good manners, again, no disciplinary problems, and that his reaction to what has happened, both the shooting and the protests that have followed, the police chief tells me that he was absolutely horrified. He said nobody wants to go to work and take another person's life, and nobody wants to come home knowing that they killed someone. So he said he has been really torn up about what has happened in the community and his own actions of killing somebody, Carol.